Let's have a little conversation about being able to dish it out but not take it in. And I'm pretty sure you're thinking I'm talking about jokes or trolling or anything like that. It's not. It really isn't. It has to do with taking advice, of all things. You see, it's very easy for someone like me that does commentary, or for that matter, in any conversation that you're having when you're giving people advice. Let's say your coworker is feeling ill, or you have a friend that's going through a rough time. It's really very easy for us because we're on the outside looking in, and because, especially when it's somebody that we know personally, we already know their quirks and things that they like and whatnot. It's really, really easy to give them advice on what to do. Then when it comes to you, it's not that simple. And I'm going to use something that has become a buzzword, but it's really important, and that is self-care. The other day I heard Peter Munn saying something to the effect of, I don't know what self-care looks to me. And I was like, what? But then I started looking in and I realized that he's right. I'm going to give you a simple example. If you know, you know that I'm moving. And that means a lot of packing, a lot of cleaning, but also because of the state of this apartment, which is the reason why we're moving 7 months ahead of time, it's keeping me sick no matter what I do. So I started with a little head cold, and it has now been 2 weeks of insufferable pain. And because the weather dropped, that means you have cold air outside, hot air inside. My nose is bleeding like a crazy person. And then you add to that the fact that I keep having a little IBS flare-ups because stress. So all of those things put together, well, you might think, well, then just take a weekend to yourself and you'll be fine. And I will take a weekend to myself, and halfway through the weekend, I feel even worse. So what ends up happening is that I don't do the self-care that way. So then I start thinking, what are some things that I like to do to see if that will get me a little bit of self-care and a little bit of, ahead. And, that doesn't work either. So why am I telling you all this? Well, here's the thing. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned through the 10 years that I've been on YouTube is that you absolutely need to do self-care. Why? Because for most of us, and I'm not talking about the big content creators that have big film crews and big staff and all this other stuff. I'm talking about the average mom and pop shops, for lack of a better word. We're on our own. We film on our own. We talk to ourselves all day long, whether it's on camera or off. And the reality is that it doesn't really matter how much you love what you do. There comes a point where this is a job that you have to take seriously enough to create content for your people. And if you don't find a way of doing self-care, and the reason why I'm saying this is because it applies to anyone, whether they're creating content or not. If you don't find the right way to self-care, you're going to end up losing time. And in our cases, when we work, it would be taking all our PTO before June arrives because we are so stressed out, and so we need so many days off. And then we take those days off and we don't accomplish anything because we're not taking care of ourselves. We need to do a better job of figuring out what self-care looks like for each and every one of us. And that's how I'm going to end it today because, like I said, I'm packing and I have 10 days left, and I'm beginning to panic a little bit. I rented a truck. I moved the electricity to the other place, and I still have a lot to do. So wish me luck. Bye.